So I think one common problem in flight simming is just the lack of engagement once you're up in the air and autopilot's on. Like, what do you do now to keep yourself entertained? Some people get up and go do the laundry or the dishes, some people speed up the flight by increasing the simulation speed, or some people just go watch YouTube videos. But I wanted to share a few other things I found that help keep the middle part of the flight a little more interesting and keeps you in the sim. Now, this mostly applies to VFR flights, and I'm not suggesting that's like realistic practices for like real life. I'm just a guy who flies planes on the internet, but I can tell you this has helped alleviate some of the more boring parts in flight, so hopefully it might help you too. So first off, pay attention to weather and more importantly the clouds. Enable real-time weather or at least fly with a preset that includes some clouds, because you can periodically check on Meteo.com and see what the weather's like at your destination. See if maybe you need to plan for a different runway or a totally different airport and divert entirely. But more importantly, keep an eye on the clouds and weather right in front of you. Start finding ways around or above or below clouds and weather without losing course. If you're flying VFR in real life, I think this is the way you're supposed to be doing it anyways. That's the whole visual part of VFR, right? So try the same thing in the sim too. Besides, you can't see that beautiful photogrammetry if you're up in layers of clouds. Oh, what the hell is this? Okay, next one is start thinking about failures. Whether you have failure and damage enabled in the sim or not, it's a fun practice to glance at the ground every so often and think about where you might put the plane down if you had an engine out. Maybe even try killing the throttle and see if you picked a good spot from time to time. From what I understand, this is kind of a part of real-life pilot training. That's a good thing to have in mind when you're flying. I kind of have this crazy idea that maybe if I start live streaming the Beer and Bush Flights trips, I might make a thing where I force myself to do emergency landings just from time to time, like when someone subscribes or so many people tune in. I don't know, just to keep things interesting. Is this a terrible idea? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Next one is a little less directly related to flying the plane, but keep an eye out for cool photo ops and go experiment with drone mode. It's great. Maybe experiment adjusting with the time of day a bit to get a moody sort of sunset look. And if they look cool, go post them online. There's kind of a level of satisfaction putting the highlights of your flight on the internet and seeing others react to it. So get creative. Last one is get low. If you're planning trips where you're well above all the terrain in the area, not only do you miss out on some of the potentially stunning scenery, but there's no element of navigating around like a giant mountain peak or finding a way through a valley or stream. I might just be a little too obsessed with bush flights. Maybe this isn't so realistic for every flight, but I feel like this aspect of bush flying like really rejuvenated my interest in flight simming in general. Okay, and last thing is go online. Find a group of people to fly with on the forums or go on Twitch. Find someone streaming their flight and go join them if you can. There's a sense of camaraderie in this game. When you're enjoying and discussing some part of the game live in real time with other people, it's fun. So maybe step outside your comfort zone a little and go talk to some people. And if you're having trouble finding somebody, I don't know, drop me a message. Honestly, half of the reason for me starting this channel was like an excuse to find people to talk to and play flight sim with. And well, I guess that's all I've got. If you could think of anything else, maybe drop it in the comments. This is really the type of game where you kind of make your own fun. So I'm curious to see what other interesting things people are doing out there.